Hello YouTube, Jumpy23 here. Welcome back to my FE8 0% LTC, and today we'll be covering Chapter 8. This is another Seas map with another crit rig boss kill. Again, get used to those. There's only going to be one more boss kill left in the game that doesn't require either crit or pierce. Other than seizing, I need S Swords Seth and level 10 C Swords Forde in this map. And the other side objectives I'm going to be paying attention to are Joshua's XP and Natasha and Moulder's XP and staff XP. We undeploy Ross after his heroic Chapter 7, but believe it or not, he will be back for one more chapter later in the run. Seth also traded out his Javelin for a fresh one. He only does 3 Javelin attacks on this map, so you'd think he could keep it, but we need a one-use Javelin in Chapter 9. So we need to hold on to that one for now. Joshua and Franz are getting themselves hit right here for heal XP. In fact, I would say that's mostly what people not named Seth are doing on this map. Originally, I had passed around Min between my staffers here. I had Natasha heal and then Moulder take Min and heal with it. I had to replay this map and most of the mid game after realizing that Natasha needed every single charge on the Min staff until it broke to herself. Moulder, again, the champ, can hit warp using basically only heal for the next few chapters. If you could promote Franz, you would save a turn right here. Seth is 2 tiles short of 4-turning this map on his own, and a promoted Franz plus Vanessa can rescue drop him those 2 tiles on turn 1. It would be very hard to get level 10 Franz, and also hard to replicate Forde's mid game with Franz, but this is a possible turn save if someone wants to improve on this LTC. Forde, Ephraim, and Kyle join back up here, and not a moment too soon. Actually, I was aggressive enough with the Forde training last map that it is a moment too soon. They could have joined on turn 3 and I would still be fine. But anyway, time to get Forde the rest of the way to level 10 in Sea Swords. Erica drinks a pure water here for reliability. She's going to need it near the throne on turn 4. Pure Water's effect doesn't diminish while you're being rescued, so she'll still have 7 extra res on turn 4 when Seth drops her by the throne. The other thing my scrub squad does besides get hit for healing is feed Joshua as much as possible. Natasha moves up here to bait the archer into the corner so I can box him in and kill him at my leisure on turn 4. Loot attacks the archer on 2 range to get hit so Moulder can have someone to heal, but you should know the drill on that by now. Forde can die on this enemy phase if he's hit by the knight that attacks him, so I had to rig that away with Vanessa. Then she rescued Colm down so that the knight would go for Seth instead of Colm. We leave him alive intentionally because otherwise another knight will just take his place, so why bother killing him? It's time to remember that Seth needs to hit S swords in this map, so I equip a steel sword here even though I'm fighting only lance enemies from now on, and I'll see just enough combat to hit S swords in the 4th enemy phase, right before I attack the boss. Forde has to javelin hit a fighter. I couldn't see a way around that. Kinda shaky, but far from the worst thing I'm gonna do in this LTC, so whatever. And then Ephraim shows off how busted Regan Leaf is by one-shotting a knight. He doubles, but he doesn't even need to because he has 30 effective might. Last turn I had rescued Colm to safety, but now I'm going to drop him back down to bait the knight that had attacked Seth. He wants to open the chest in the chest room on turn 5, so he needs to stand exactly where he's standing right now. So the Knight's going to come down sooner or later. It's better to bring him down this turn rather than next, because a low HP Colm can contribute on turn 4 enemy phase to AI manipulation. Loot also moved up next to Colm to bait down the longbow archer that had attacked Seth previous turn. It's kind of sad just how much this map is the Seth show, and even the Scrub Squad's side objectives aren't particularly interesting or difficult, but that's the reality of FE8 early game. I think this really becomes an interesting LTC game starting in Chapter 9. People generally define FE8 in mid-game as Chapters 9 through 15 and say it's the best part of the game, and I would agree with that. The late game's also interesting in its own right, so hold on, it gets better, I swear. Erica's survivability in this corner is quite shaky. She has to dodge a hit even with the pure water, and normally she would have to dodge 2 with this longbow archer as well. That's what the low HP Colm is for though, to bait away the longbow archer. He also has to dodge, but his avoid is a little higher, so it's a little better. There might be some specific HP value that you can set some unit at, such that the longbow archer will attack them instead of Erica, but not kill them. I didn't look hard enough to figure that out because this was, again, far from the worst thing that I'm going to do in this LTC. So Colm is going to steal an Angelic Robe on this turn. This, like the Energy Ring, is a surprise tool that will help us later. We need to use it on a specific character for a turn save. You know what? Fuck it. I'm tired of all the hinting. It's Cormag. The dude who's getting like every booster. Cormag. I'm sure you guessed anyway. Who else could it be? He flies and has big stats. Seth needs to Armor Slayer crit the boss. He doubles, but he doesn't get 2 tries at the Armor Slayer crit because we need exactly 6 uses left on it, so the crit has to come on the first hit. That's why we gave him S swords. It more than doubles the reliability of this crit. And then Erica is rude, and she keeps her inventory after this chapter, so I manually dump it here before seizing. And that is chapter 8 in 5 turns. Now we get a long cutscene where we get 10,000 gold and then choose our route, Erica or Ephraim Route. And as I'm sure you guessed from the previous videos, we're going with Ephraim. See you next time.